Hi, my name is Judy.
And my name is Blazion.
And this is
the Mother-Daughter Corner. Welcome, guys. Welcome to episode 3. Today, we're actually going to be doing the first part to our 2-part episode. Today, I'm actually going to be asking my mother a few questions that pertain me. So, the first question is, were there any similarities between me and you as a child?
Yes. And first, I think I would say love of company. Mm-hmm. Like I loved guests coming to our home. I just loved that. And I mean, there are so many things that made me love them. First of all, like when you're a kid and at times if your mom is around and you want something, she'll always be keeping an eye on you. Mm-hmm. And maybe when they're guests, like she's distracted. Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to do your own little things without being monitored so much. Or, okay, the other thing is when we never used to like really go out and visit like people. Mm-hmm. You know how you go to your neighbors, my folks like kind of kept us, at home. No, not unless they are taking us to places to visit and stuff like that. Or maybe we are going to people's birthdays, which was, of course, not all the time. So, just a thought of having company or having different people come and then there's a different mood there or, there are different things to do and, people talking and catching up. Okay, that one, I know you like, company. Yeah, and then there's that love of family. I really, really deeply, like having family around. I can't even be extended family, but just the fact that, they're your family, I like that. I mean, you like that. Yeah. It's one thing I know about you like something like that. And then also there's this, another similarity is the respect. You're very caring and respectful, which, I know as a child also, that I played that key role, or even I still do that. Yeah, so I think those, there are many, but that's some of what I can remember of them.
Yeah. Okay, so the next question is, what's your favorite memory of us?
Okay, favorite memory of us is, the road trips. Yeah. We love going on road trips and long road trips, Like we'd go to New York, and then actually that's a time like we'd really get intimate and really talk, and then having at this age, now I'll be open to everything, be it relationship, be it anything, I'll open up and we'll really talk deeply, And then remember that it's still on New York when we went for that for ourselves.
Oh my gosh.
For ourselves. That was crazy. It was a crazy experience. Yes. We did not expect that.
I know. Wait, can I say? Guys, okay, so when we were in New Jersey, Ocean City, yeah. And I didn't even know that New Jersey even had an Ocean City. And that trip was like honestly planned like out of nowhere. She was just like, "We're gonna go," and
I booked the
hotel that
at night, like maybe 2 a.m.
Yes, and we went that following morning, literally. But the road trip, like she said, was fun. But we got there, we were trying to figure out some things that we wanted to like do there. Yeah. So I kind of noticed that people were like parasailing and stuff. So I was like, we should go parasailing. I did not think she was gonna actually say yes. So we're here driving to the place, and I'm here like, she's still messing around. Like we're literally at the front desk and everything, like getting ready to get our ticket to go, parasailing. And I'm still thinking like, there's no way. When I tell you guys, we were on that boat. And then we were the last group of people to like go parasailing because there's like a group of like 3 different couples. Like we were the third, like.
Yeah, we said we want to go there last.
Yeah, last. We wanted to see what everyone else is doing. But you guys, oh my gosh, that was crazy.
Oh, and the part also, they make you sign a waiver.
Yes. Oh my goodness. But honestly, it was definitely a fun experience.
Yeah. Okay, I kind of mixed them up. Like the favorite. It can be favorite, but there are also those memories that always stuck with me, Okay, there's a road trip one, and then there's also this one. I remember when I started dating my husband, and at one point we came to like live together. And I remember my daughter telling me, "I hope you know what you're doing," because at that time she's like 5 years. Were you 5 years old?
Yeah, I was like 5.
She was 5 years old, and she said, "Mommy, I hope you know what you're doing, because people don't live together when they're not married." And I was like, "Okay." I said, yes, ma'am, I got this, you know. And did I disappoint you?
Not at all.
I didn't disappoint you. So that one is a memory that like sticks with me the whole time. Also, there's this thing of, you know, if you only have one child or your only child, you know, your first child, like you want to spoil them. So I would see nice things, like, you know, there are those normal things, and then there are those a little, you know, over the top, and you feel, you know, once in a while, let me get them that, like it's a pair of shoes and stuff like that. I remember you used to tell me, Mommy, don't waste your money. Don't waste your money buying, you know, things like this. And I was like, oh, wow, you know, like she kept me sane, you know. And then even like how the baby cries, Blazion never cried. She was, if anything, there was more noise of the vacuum cleaner in my house than nobody even knew I had a child. If anything, like I remember my neighbor who used to be below me. I used to live in UK at that time. Every time, like I would vacuum, like I mean, I'm clean fanatic. I would vacuum every time, and he used to wonder. Okay, I don't hear so many footsteps up there, but it's always cleaning. So he was like, there must be very many people living up there too, you know.
Yeah.
And then one time I went downstairs. He saw me coming downstairs, you know, and of course, you know, you close your door and the person can see. So they're like, oh, they live there. So he asked me, you live there? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, and you have a baby? I was like, yes. It's like, I've never had no child cry. If anything, you know, all I hear is a vacuum. I thought there were so many people living there. I said, no, it's just me and her. You know, so, okay, there's those memories. And then, which other memory? I mean, there's so many memories. But there are those ones that even today, like with Dan, you know, like I just look at her and go like, wow, you know, you are such a blessing. Yeah. I remember one time, and just, you know, let me put a warning out there. When you have children, I tend to be very careful what you say in front of them, because some of them you never know. I remember one time, Blazion wanted something, and she told me, Mom, can you please buy me this? And I said, no. I said, no, I don't have money. That time I think she was still, is it 5 years old? She was still that young. I told her I don't have any, but she was going to school and then she'd come home. So I told her I don't have money. Would you believe this child would come home and not touch anything in the fridge? Like, you know how kids come from school, you know, they'll come and snack and, you know, before dinner is made. She will never take anything. And one day I asked her, how come you don't, you know, you're not eating? And she said, Mommy, you said we don't have money, and this food has to last us. I just left her. I went to the room. I literally cried. Like, I felt it, and I said, I will never again tell a child, you know. But I mean, again, you can see where this is going. She's that type of child who, it was just the two of us. Like, she kicked in so much like an adult, you know. So even the conversations like we'd have, it's, you know, we'd talk like two adults, and I think from there, that's where she just picked the whole notion of, you know, she just grew up so fast. You know, she never grew around children. Even me growing up, besides my siblings, I'd never seen a newborn, you know. So even when I remember when I went to buy my clothes, my maternity clothes, I bought them from a premature child. You know, because I thought babies come out so tiny. And when I was checking them out, because I mean, I used to work in this store, and people who are in the US, they know, or, you know, around the world, you know, at times you can do, what's it called, leeway or something? Layaway. So I'd pick and see, oh, nice clothes, I'll then put them aside. Nice clothes, put them aside. So I said, okay, now I'm ready, because, you know, also you don't want to buy kids' clothes too early. So like I would collect them, but also I knew some of them were seasonal, and I don't want the season to go out, and, you know. Yeah. So I had so many, and I go to the register, and this lady's looking at me, and I thank God this lady, she was like a mother. She was my mother. You know, she was a little older than my mom, you know, but she's like my mom's age. And she looked at the clothes, and she said, why are you buying all premature clothes? And I told her, premature, I didn't even know what exactly that really means, you know, like in my head I was not even thinking straight. And she said, no, this is for like a very small baby. Who told you you're getting one? And I had to return. Can you imagine? I had to return all those clothes. These are like months of collecting. I had to put them back, and But anyway, at least she saved me, because you can imagine you'd have had these clothes.
I know.
And it would have been a waste.
I know. Wait, with that, like, when you're a newborn, you can fit those, right? Could I even fit that, or still no?
No, because
it's extremely,
exactly,
small.
who are born that they're not to term.
Okay, so the next question is, when were you proudest of me?
Okay, when was I proudest of her? I mean, of course, there are so many times, but there are those particular ones that really pop out. I remember when we went to college, like I was panicking, your first day. Like I take you there and I'm leaving you and I'm going like, oh my God, this is a child. We've always been together from day one, Everywhere I've gone, like I've said, I've lived in UK, I've lived in Kenya, and then I came back to the US. Like she's always been, my buddy. Like I've gone everywhere with her. So this time we were separating, and I was like, how, I was having that anxiety. How is she gonna survive? Like she's been around me. I mean, I knew she's self-sufficient and she can do things for herself, but that thought that now she's away from home, will it be too overwhelming? How is she going to, manage? Even though I knew, and the school was actually how many minutes?
It wasn't that far. It's like a 20, 30.
Yeah, it was very, very close.
Not that far.
And that's how we made it, because I didn't want her, just in case anything goes wrong. I told her the first year, just stay close.
Yeah.
After that, maybe, you can go, further, because again, if anything happened, I would want to get to you in a timely manner.
Yeah.
So, the fact that she went there and she was capable. She did everything. She even, got a job. Yes, she used to have jobs before, but she went out there and conquered, did everything. Like she was not even asking for pocket money. She was doing everything for herself. I was like, wow, okay, I've actually really, raised up, a good child. So there's that one memory. And then the other one is, I remember she started working interns very early. How old were you? When did you start?
When I was, 15?
15 years old. What grade is that?
My freshman year of high school.
Yeah. So, they had this, you can explain who those people
So, End Time Harvest Ministries, which was like a organization in my school that basically
it was just in your school. They collected a few schools around
the county. It's a great program.
Yeah, that would help kids, and mostly it's this like the minority. And when you say minorities, like these are African Americans,
Hispanics,
Hispanics, and all these, because at times there are funds and benefits kept aside to help people like that. And so anyway, she would go to work. And as young as she is, she would get very high roles of, working. And, at first you're just going like, oh, maybe she'll just go there and just do little things. I mean, give even examples like where you worked with your intern.
So I worked at a community forklift where like I had to do photography work. I also had to do like office work. I also worked at like the Department of Transportation, where I had to go out and almost like actually out and about and like look at different infrastructures, just stuff like that. Like I've done a lot of different types of internships, not just one specific field. Like I've done tons of different things.
And I mean, then, like you can hear, Ministry of Transport, that's not just an easy. This is like somebody who's in high school.
Yeah.
These are high roles. You're being told, checking traffic lights and that, and you're putting in data and stuff like that, Even in this community forklift, like you do the advertisement for them and stuff like, like you showed them, you have the notion, you have that thing where you can, lead and take, initiative and do stuff. So those, besides now others of, graduating and stuff like that, those are the main ones. I went like it really hit my face,
Yes, this is when we get a little spicy, I guess you could say. So what's the time that you felt worried or afraid for me?
The first time I felt worried or afraid for you is, I think, when you became a teenager. And I think it's most the parents, because that's the age where you're trying to identify yourself. So you can easily go, choose the wrong crowd and start, starring away and deterring and, start doing, crazy stuff. So I want to say that was the most time, you know, when I was a little afraid. And then also the other time is, I think when you went to college away from, you know, when you're staying in college, like, you know, of course, at that point, you know, kids now, they're exposed to so many things, you know. So, like, I was a little worried, you know, maybe at times maybe you guys are going out for parties. You know, I know how, you know, these kids, you know, at that point, you know, some kids are of age and, of course, they're drinking, you know. And maybe, you know, you people might be tempted, you guys go drinking, maybe the spiking, you know, of drinks, if you leave it, you know, because you're still naive, you don't know what is going on, you know, stuff like that, or even it can be drugs, you know, being introduced to stuff like that, you know. So, yeah, those were the main times when I was really, you know,
Which makes a lot of sense,
too.
I
mean, even up to date, it's not like I'm just, I mean, every time, like, you know, your child is going out at night, I mean, it just, you know, you just hope for the best, you know.
But like
because for me, I just go like the communication. That one is very key for me. You know, even though you're going, like, and I want, if maybe you had said you'll be home a certain time and you're not, just let me know. That's all I tell her, even though it's a text. Because if I call and you're not answering the phone, oh my God. I remember a long time, I'll be those people who even go out and start even looking. I'm like, if you don't respond to me in 5 minutes, I am coming. I'm coming your way. And I don't even know where I'm going.
I know. Oh gosh. Honestly, this one particular party that I went to, it was right, or it wasn't more so like a party, it was kind of like an introducing to college type of thing. So I remember, gosh, we were supposed to go, and she insisted on like taking me and my friend there, like, you know, just to like check out the place and stuff like that.
Make sure you it's a valid
thing. So she took us and everything, and like she literally even came out the car like to talk to like the security person just to make sure like this is what it is.
Is it a genuine thing? I mean, because it was a fast.
It was my first like it was right before going to college too. So she just wanted to make sure that everything was, you know, like straight and stuff.
Exactly.
So but he talked to her and everything, and it was what it was supposed to be.
But, then I asked him, are they drinking? He said no alcohol allowed in there. You know, so I was like, you know what? Okay, that's actually okay. And when then we went to the party part, when we found out which side to go to. And then I'm all there hyped.
I know. I know the students, because like the students all thought she was like a student too, because I bet.
And then for you guys who are like a little shy also, you're like pulled back.
I know.
So you know they're going them, this is the first time they're going a place like that. So they're like, okay. You know, they feel grown, but also maybe I don't know whether they want to act. They were also shy enough because I'm there. It's also their first time. So we break the ice. I was just there going like, you know what? I'm one of them. So where's the party at? I'm going like, where's the party at? And they said, oh yeah, you guys go down this way, and all that.
But honestly, I appreciate that she's like that, because even with that, like when she says like the typical things that she's worried about, like because of like college or school or any type of thing like that, honestly, because the way she raised me, like even going out there, like I could honestly say like when I was like my first freshman year, like she had touched on, like honestly I worked and did school. Like I had my casual like outings and stuff, but my main focus were just those things. And I think because of like everything that she's implemented into my like, you know, into me all my life, like that's just been my main focus. Like but then again, like even like she touched on, like I've never really been like I enjoy like going out, of course, but I've never been like one to like be one to just do it back to back to back. So even like when I was by myself on campus and stuff, that wasn't my main focus. I was really just trying to do what I had to do, but also, you know, have fun here and there. So yeah, so, you know, I'm just trying to say, like, the way you raised me should make you just know, like, yeah, I know, like, I raised her right, and, like, she got this.
You know what, and it's funny because you're saying that, and I remember at work, every time when you're in school, because I remember the first days I used to call you and wake you up, and she's like, Mommy, we're not going to be doing this every day.
I know.
And then what did I do? I stopped calling you.
I know. Yeah, she stopped calling me, and I'm like, where is she at?
Exactly. Okay, be calling me.
Yeah.
I didn't say don't be calling me, but at that part of you know, are you awake and all that stuff, you know, because I would think, maybe she might sleep, because you know how at times teenagers are, they'll sleep the whole day and they have the whole night. So I thought, oh, she might go to school and then maybe start thinking, let me sleep out because I'm late. Because you know at times, you know, they get lazy in the morning and I go like, oh my God, this now is college. You have to really participate. You know, it's not like you can be carrying school and stuff like that, you know. Yeah, so you know, stuff like that. But what was I saying?
Calling.
Oh no, what you just said about, you know, being raised. I remember at work, I used to tell my colleagues, you know, I mean, who are older, and I used to look out to them because they have older kids, you know, who of course, you know, even much older than me, you know, because at times you want to confide in people like that. So how is it, you know, at times you don't feel you're by yourself. And that's what they told me, you know, the way you talk about your child, it's like, you know, she's a good child, meaning that way you raised her well, so she will be okay. You know, she will be okay. She will always make those choices where, you know, there'll be good choices. So that's I was like, okay, let me trust on that. Let me trust I did my part, you know.
Okay, so the next question is, what accomplishment are you proudest of?
Accomplishment, okay, I would say you're self-taught. That thing where you're self-taught, like I don't have, you know, from the get-go I said she learned at a very young age to be self-sufficient. I remember it was just me and her. I was not married at the time when I got her, and from the get-go, I'm telling you, day one of the hospital, because I had a 2-bedroom house, I took her to her room, you know, which is kind of weird in some sense, you know, you're going like you're a new parent, but I just felt like it would be a waste. This is a room, you know, I made it so nice, baby room, so I went like, you know what she needs to have. So I don't know. And then from such an early age, like she would wake up early in the morning, maybe it was raining, and at times I would work at night. I don't know. At times, I'm telling you, those were night jobs. You come home, maybe by the time you chill on the chair, the next minute you are falling asleep. This little child, she would get up, get herself ready, eat breakfast. At least the bus stop was just out there. And she would be gone to school. At times I'll wake up, I'm like, what in the world? And then I feel like, oh my God, I'm such a bad mother. But then you know what I remembered? I said, you know, the kids who are so unfortunate, I mean, I'm from Africa, and I've seen poverty. You know, I've seen it, which is crazy. And I mean, I'm ashamed of it, but I've seen poverty, the real poverty on TV. You know, like I've not faced it, I've not looked at it. Like, you know, there's poverty, but there's another level of poverty. That's the level I'm talking about, you know, where people are living in extremes and, you know, they'll be doing stuff. And actually, we were watching with you.
The other day.
Remember, even sometime, long time, I would show her and tell her, you know what, don't think, you know, you're privileged, you know. We even would see kids like sailing, they're crossing rivers where there are crocodiles, and they have to go miles to go to school. So, you know, with that, I went like, you know what, fine, I'm here. I mean, everything is okay, it's safe and all that. So what if I was not here? God forbid, if I was not here, what would she be doing? You know, what would she be doing? So like I would give myself heart and just go like, you know what, I would still feel bad, but then I said, you know what, it's good she needs to learn to be, you know, like, independent, because you never know, anything can happen. So, you know, the fact that she's self-taught, even now, even when she's grown, like she'll take the initiative, she'll just teach herself things, you know. And I'm like, oh wow, how did you figure that out, you know? And then also the fact that the way I said, the accomplishment where like she'll go to work, and these are companies where they like trust her and give her big leads, you know, even than people who've been working there, you know, or she'll go there, like even the last place when we worked at this transport place, like she's taking the role of teaching others how to do it, you know, like even now other interns, and they came the same time, like even putting in the data and all that, like she's the one who's even showing them, you know. So I mean, you know, things like that, you're like, wow, you know, those are, you know, the accomplishment. They might not look, in your eyes, they might not look, you know, because people think they have to be so major, you know, like you graduated with your PhD, or you did this and that. But I'm telling you, there are certain accomplishments like really stick with you, and you know, not everybody can hack them, you know. So yeah, those are some of them that I can remember offhand, or they're always there, and I look at you at times and I go like, wow, that's my product. Not product per se, like it's a good, but you know what I mean. Like that's my child. Wow, I'm proud.
Thank you.
I'm so proud. You do not know. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. This is actually the last question. So, what were your parents like? What was your relationship with them like, and how has it evolved over time?
Okay, how are my parents like? Oh my God, my parents were. I don't even know where to start. Okay, I'll start with my mother, because a child, the mother is always the one who's close to her. And me saying that, I don't mean that fathers are not there, but there's that bond where the mother carried you and that, and also I'm a woman, so let me start from there. So my mom, what was my mom like? My mom was a pillar of the house, of the home. Like, my mom is very strong woman. My mom can, oh my God, my mom can come and command an audience. She's like a fire burning. She's always on her A game. So me growing up, my mom, I remember, first she was a housewife. Like, she was those type of people. She said she's going to raise her children. So she raised us until we got to a certain age. And when she got to a certain age, she opened a business. Like, she felt, okay, now this is the time where, they are of age. Now let me go, they, of course, we were in grade school, maybe like class 4, 5 there. She's like, what? Okay, at this age, I don't have to be, a home wife or, stuff like that, even though we had the helps and all that. So all of a sudden, she gets a business. And it's doing so good. Like, she would knit uniforms, she would distribute uniforms. And when I say that, how you can just start a small business, I'm telling you, these are big businesses. And then from there, she went to grocery. And then after that, she became like, she had a hotel. Like, you're looking at her. And you're going like, you mean you had this in you, And then now from there, besides that, and I mean, right now, what she's doing, like, all the groups she has, like, the jobs she does for the country, she's a well-known figure, because she really does a lot for the country, helping women and, stuff like that. And, I mean, that's something, that is who my mom is, that's what my mom was like. And then the part of caring, I mean, she cared for us so much. Because my dad used to work away and we were home with mom, so of course when she comes in the evenings, she's making sure everything is right, she of course she's gonna eat the food, and if she felt the food has more salt, of course she'd be like, no, this, she has to address, like, she won't leave things, and she has to address everything, like, everything to her has to be perfect. I remember even some of my cousins would want to come and they are working, or they want to, have to help them get jobs. My mom is the type, just because you're my relative, and you want me to employ you, you gotta do what people do. Can you write, where's your application letter? There's nothing like, oh, I'm just coming. It doesn't matter what business. Bring your application letter. Bring your particulars. And that's who my mom is. So, and then every Sundays, like, she'll take us places, we go to Green Hills. Remember, even I took you to Green Hills. So, we were big on that, like, work hard, and then she'll take us out on Sundays, which we had a very good time. Okay, my dad, because he used to work away, oh my God, there are these things I never forget. You grow with somebody, and you take them for granted. And I'm telling you, once you're grown, that's when you realize. So for my dad, because he never used to be so much home, like I told you, he used to work away, and then maybe once a month, because it was quite a distance, maybe once a month, he would come home, and maybe for the weekend, And when he comes home, I remember he used to bring for us the chocolate. The Cadbury drinking chocolate. So good. Oh my God, we used to, and it's not the small one, the big one. The biggest that there is. So he'd bring me and my siblings, he'd bring us, and then he'd kiss us on the forehead, you know. So every time, like, we looked forward for that, you know, like, even growing up, like, in Africa, in an African country, like, people are not so big, and especially that time, with, you know, affection, with the hugging and the kissing, and, you know, there was that thing, I don't want to say it like a taboo, but there was that thing where, and especially where you have your daughters and there's a man, you know, that, you know, too much closeness, and, you know, that was not, you know, very common. And then also, I remember we used to do board games with my scramble, like the weekends we'll do the scramble, you know. We'll do, you know, different things. Like my dad now, when he came, he'd keep us together, you know. And then we used to do like a hopscotch with my dad. We'll do the 5 stones. You know, I don't know whether people, you know, the 5 stones, people, you did that. Yeah, we'll do the 5 stones. And then the other funny thing is, I don't know who had told us people can do that. We'll get mud, you know, like soft mud, and then roll it on a fine cemented surface, you know, like any shiny surface. We'd roll it and roll it and roll it. At the end of the day, it looks like a marble.
Oh, wow.
So I know. So you can imagine us just talking with my dad. All of us were just there, you know, rolling. So you see, that was my dad. Like we didn't even feel, you know, that because we didn't grow seeing him all the time. The time he came, he compensated for all that. So we did not even feel, you know, like we are missing growing without him, because he pretty much stepped in and did all that. Yeah. And then of course we'd go now to the big trips, not the long family trips, like when my dad is there. I remember one time, you know, we did like a cross country. We'd go with the map, you know, drive around, and then because my mom, of course, she's very good at cooking, she'll make snacks and then go snacking on the way. And oh my God, I remember the farthest we went was Eldoret. We went to Kisumu, then went to Eldoret. Man, it was fun. How it has evolved over time, of course, it's become even better, because now we understand each other. And the fact that now that I'm a parent, I understand where they were coming from, where they came from, you know, and how they did things and why they had to do what they did, you know, in a manner that they did. So we are even closer than we've ever been, you know. Like, of course, when we are talking, we'll talk in depth. Just like even I was saying with my daughter, like when we travel, like we'll get in depth, because I mean, at this age, obviously, what am I now sheltering? You know, she's at the age where now she can like explore almost everything, you know. So, you know, it's become, you know, better. And like I said, we touch base on almost everything. You know, we can talk about anything. If I had maybe like little queries before, I would even come out and ask them now, you know, because I remember my mom, my parents, especially my mom, like if we had a visitor come or anybody, we could never address them with their name. And when I say name, it's just like, if maybe it's Judy, there's no way I can say just Judy, and that's an adult. I either have to call her Miss Judy, you know, like the Miss has to be in front of it, or, you know, Mr. or whatever it is. But you cannot just call them by their name. Or you know, in Africa also we are big with calling, you know, auntie, like my friends, Blazion will call them auntie, it's a woman, or uncle, it's a guy, you know. And we could never, you know, we could never do that. So now I revenge and call almost everybody their names. I'm like, look, I'm grown. Even her times I'll be calling her name. And of course, you won't say anything, and I'll be enjoying it, you know. So yeah, like I said, it's also the time to revenge now and say, hey, I'm going to what are you gonna do to me now? But of course, at the same time, give them their respect. Yeah, because again, I don't care, you know, how a parent can, you know, wrong you. I mean, there are different levels of wronging, but to me, like I said, I would always respect my parents, regardless. At the end of the day, they are your parents. They gave back to you. They gave you the best, you know, with what, you know, what they had, you know. So how else would you, and especially if a child you growing, if your parents did not abuse you or mistreat you growing up, you know, why all of a sudden when somebody is grown, And of course, we know we have our differences.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be surprised, you know. When you were kids, it's only that we didn't know any better, or we could not do, you know. But when people grow, even with big siblings or what, people look at each other and went like, oh my God, that is you. Like, I knew you one way, but you became who you are. You really are, you know. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is, I mean, just respect each other. And then it's just for a short time, like, you know, people see each other with their folks and then stuff like that. So just respect them, you know, respect them. Respect them. And if you're a believer, they say you respect your parents, you live longer.
Well, that's actually all for the questions. I really love this segment. It was nice to hear good things about myself. But no, I really appreciated this, and I can't wait to do part 2 where I
like, you'll be my time.
Yeah,
you'll be on the hot spot.
I know.
So I'll be this other side, you know, just, you know, winging it.
I know.
Yeah, otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you next time.
Bye.